Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, write a Java program to demonstrate the creation of an interface. Let me answer this question with practical demonstration. So, interface concept or interface topic in Java will fall under abstraction category. Okay. So in object oriented concepts, we have different concepts like object, class, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, abstraction. Okay. Under the abstraction category of OOPS concepts, we'll get this two items are there under abstraction, guys. So one is, abstract classes we have. They're all about partial implementation or partial abstraction. Okay, something will be implemented, something will not be implemented. That is abstract classes. But interfaces, we generally call these interfaces as full abstraction, full hiding. Okay, complete hiding, no implementation at all. Okay, there we generally use interfaces. So this is what. And now this question is all about interface. Okay, so in interface, how to create an interface? The way you create a class, similarly you can create an interface, guys. And there's a keyword in Java. Okay, in order to create an interface, there is a keyword in Java known as interface keyword. Okay, what is the name of the keyword? Interface keyword, guys. There's a keyword in Java known as interface keyword, using which we can create an interface in Java. And there are many other stuff that I need to cover and explain about the interfaces. Step by step, I am going to do while writing a Java program to demonstrate the creation of interface. Okay, while creating this interface as part of the answer for this question, okay, I'll be covering a lot of concepts regarding the interface. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new interface here. Let me close the previous stuff and create a new interface. Right click new. Instead of selecting the class, you select the interface case. Okay. Instead of selecting the class, you select an interface and give some name for the interface. In India, we have an institution known as RBI. It's a financial, regarding institution. Okay, related institution, you can say. So whatever the financial decisions, okay, in India to be taken as a country, right? RBI is the one behind that. Okay, RBI will take the decisions related to financial stuff related to India. It may be banking sector, it can be any other financial sectors. Okay, all the things that are related to finance stuff will come under RBI. Okay, Reserve Bank of India. Okay, Reserve Bank of India. Okay, which will track the inflation rate that is going in India. What is it will actually work towards the better GDP growth of the country and all those stuff. Okay, by taking a lot of necessary actions that what banks have to do, what banks should not do. Okay, all the financial stuff and regulations, rules, okay, processes will be created by RBI in India. I just create an interface. Okay, as an example, guys, I'll take RBI. Okay, and similarly, if you go to US, right, there will be other, similar to RBI, we have something like, Fed is there. Okay, Fed kind of stuff is there in United States. Like different countries will have their own financial institutions. So in India, we have RBI. Click on finish. The moment I click on finish, you will get an interface created, and the keyword that is required for creating an interface in Java is an interface keyword. This is how we have to create an interface, guys. This is an access modifier followed by the interface keyword, followed by the name of the interface. Okay, followed by the name of the interface. Okay, how to create an interface using the interface keyword, we have to create an interface. And interface, I told you, right, is all about full abstraction. Okay, full abstraction. Okay, under the abstraction object oriented concepts, we have this interface, full abstraction. Full abstraction, that is like, zero implementation kind of stuff will be there. Okay, generally speaking, zero implementation. So inside the interface, you can create some variables and you can create some methods. First, I'll talk about the methods. Whatever the methods by default you create inside the interface cannot have a body because they are by default abstract types. Okay, that means if I write public void deposit money, let's say RBI. Okay, let's say there's an interface like RBI, which is trying to define a bank in India. So what does a bank do, guys? Deposit money. It's try to deposit we can deposit the money in the bank. Okay. If I try to create a body, you see the general methods when I try to create inside the interface, and if I try to provide the body here, immediately I'm going to get an error saying that abstract methods do not specify a body. That means by default, the methods inside the interfaces are by default abstract, and as abstract methods cannot have the body. Just the declaration is enough. You see, you have to put a semicolon. So similarly, what a bank can do in India, RBI is defining all these rules for the banks. Okay, deposit money, transfer money. Okay, then public void, withdraw money. Okay, then public void, deposit money, transfer money, withdraw money. Then any other stuff, open account. Okay, then close account. You can create any number of methods, guys. Okay, closing account, close account. Okay, withdraw money. Like that, many things can be created, but for sample, I'll create only this 5 methods, and they cannot have the body, guys. If you try to provide any method body for these methods, by default, methods in the interfaces are abstract type. Okay, so here by default, the general methods inside an interface are of abstract type. Okay, they're of abstract type. They cannot contain method body, or implementation Okay, they cannot contain method body or implementation. So these are like interfaces. So some methods we have created, and if you try to create a body, immediately Java compiler is giving an error saying that by default these methods are abstract methods. You do not specify a body. It is saying, okay, you have to remove this method body and put a semicolon. You cannot implement these methods. That's what is the thing. Along with that, inside the interfaces, you can create some variables. The variables inside the interface are by default static and final type. Static type and final type. I'll write the code like this: int. Okay, int. Otherwise, I'll not say int. Otherwise, I will say string account type. Account type 1. Okay, put a semicolon. You will get a compiler error saying that, okay, you have to initialize this. The blank field cannot, a field account type 1 may not have been initialized. We have to initialize. Why we have to initialize? Because this is of, final type. Okay, by default, it is final type. You have to give something like, let's say, savings account. Savings. Similarly, string account type 2 is equal to, one is savings and other one is current account. Okay, current. It's mandated to initialize, and also they are static and final type. Okay, by default, methods are abstract type. Okay, by default, abstract type by default. Okay, the methods in interface are abstract type by default. They cannot have the method body or implementation, whereas the variables by default in the interface are by default final and static type. If you want to access these variables of this RBI interface, you can access them using the name of the interface, RBI.account type 1, RBI.account type 2. And like this, many variables and many methods you can create inside the interface. But here, the variables inside the interface are by default static and final type. Okay, I'll write that here. Variables inside the interface are by default final and static type. Okay, are by default final and static type, guys. Are by default final and static type. Okay. Now, if an interface cannot implement the methods, then who will implement these methods? So we can create the child classes for this interface, which are implementing this interface. Okay, whenever you create an interface, you can create a child classes for this interface who are implementing this interface. For example, I'll create some child classes, either part of the same file or you can create a new class maybe. I'll just name this class as uh, for example, instead of giving the name like RBI, right, I'll give the name for the interface as bank. That will be more better, guys. I'll rename this to bank dot interface. Okay, bank dot Java file in the bank dot Java file, and it is an interface case. It's an interface actually. Let's say RBI is creating this interface to be followed by the bank. So it's better you give the name as bank because RBI is a financial institution. It's not just only for the banks. It it has several functions, right? One of the thing is like RBI take care of the banks rules and define the rules and regulations. So this interface RBI has created for the banks to follow. Let's assume that. Now here I'll create a new class. I'll just name this class as some bank. Let's say HDFC Bank. Okay, is the name of the class. I'll create a class. In the class, we not use interface keyword. We'll use a class keyword. So here, that's what is one thing that you have to use. Understand that interface keyword we have to use for creating the interfaces, and they're all about full abstraction, that is zero implementation. So all the methods by default cannot be implemented. They cannot have the method body or implementation, and variables are by default static and final type. Okay. Now I created a HDFC Bank class, and I want to make this HDFC Bank class a child class of this interface. Who will implement all these methods which are not implemented by the interface? The child classes, okay, like this HDFC Bank. And how a class can become a child class of this bank interface. Here we will write implements keyword. Okay, there's a keyword in Java known as class name implements. If you want to make this class a child class of this bank interface, we have used implements keyword and say bank. And here I need to, you see, and I don't have to write a main method here. Remove that for now. Okay. Pour the mouse on this HDFC bank and say add unimplemented methods. There are several unimplemented methods in the bank interface, which is the parent of this HDFC bank. You have to implement to overcome this error it is saying. So here you can write down the code public void, whatever the methods that are not implemented in the bank interface, because bank here implementation is not allowed. So such kind of methods you can implement here, deposit money. Okay. We are overriding the methods from the interface case. Okay. The child classes are overriding the methods. You see, one method I created the body here that you see again one more error will come. Open account. You create a implementation for a open account, public void open account. Okay. So then over the mouse again, you will get one more close account, public void close account, public void close account. Okay. Like that, you'll keep getting all this stuff. Okay. Close account. And then after 3 methods implementation, you are getting withdraw money. You have to implement this withdraw money from the parent interface, public void. Then the error will be gone. It will say withdraw money. Okay. Withdraw money. Then what else is there? Then we have other one, that is transfer money. Public void transfer money. Public void transfer money. Like this, I'll create deposit money, open account, close account, withdraw money, transfer money. I created. Okay, fine. So after that, the error is gone here. I'll write some implementation code, depositing money in. Every class will have its own implementation, right? For example, HDFC, depositing money into HDFC bank. Like this, I'll write some statement, system.out.println, opening an account in HDFC bank. Okay, then next one, system.out.println, closing an account closing an account in HDFC Bank. Then what else? System.out.println, withdrawing money in HDFC Bank. Okay, then next one, system.out.println, transferring money in HDFC Bank. Okay, like that I can create lot of, you see, uh, transferring money from HDFC Bank, withdrawing money from HDFC Bank, like this proper names I'm giving. Closing account, closing HDFC Bank account, HDFC Bank account. Okay, HDFC Bank, opening HDFC Bank account, opening HDFC Bank account. Okay, like this, I've created, guys, some methods, implementation and all. Here, types are there in the, these variables are there, these methods are there. You cannot implement the methods in the interface. The child classes of this interface can implement. I can create one more class if I want and, implement this in a different fashion. For example, apart from HDFC Bank, I can write Axis Bank. I can write Axis Bank, okay? So, or any other bank and implements bank interface, okay? So I'll, if I want to, if I can I create an object for an interface? No, you cannot create an object for the interface. So you have to create an object for the child class that is implementing an interface and access all this stuff. So for that reason, I'll create one more class. I'll just name this class as, iDemo, just some random name with main method I'll create. Here I'll drag this interface, HDFC Bank here, and here I cannot create an object for an interface, guys. In Java, we cannot create an object for an interface. If you try to create an object for the interface, bank is equal to new bank, you will get an error. Cannot instantiate the type bank, okay? You cannot create an object for the bank. What you can do is you can create an object for the child class, which is implementing the interface like this. You can create an object for the bank and assign that to the variable of the bank interface if you want, okay? That's okay. You can assign this object to the variable of the same class or its parent interface. Here I'll say bank is equal to, this is okay. Creating an object for the child class and assigning that to the variable of the parent interface is fine. Now using this object reference, using this, if I want to access this variables, okay, system.out.println. I don't have to use object reference here. I can directly call this variables of the interface with the name of the interface. Bank dot, you see, account type 1 savings will be printed. I don't have to create an object here for this purpose. System.out.println, name of the interface dot account type 2. Okay, we can access like this. And next thing is that using the bank object reference, I can call all these methods. Okay, you see, bank dot open account, bank dot savings, bank dot deposit money. Let's say bank dot where bank dot withdraw money, bank dot transfer money, bank dot close account. Like this, all these methods you can call, guys. Okay, so in interfaces you can create variables and methods, but methods are abstract by default. The variables are static and final by default. Since they are static, right, I can access them using the interface name. Okay, and since run the code here and you see the things will work fine. Like HDFC Bank, you can create a lot of classes which are implementing the bank interface and create their own implementation for all these methods, okay, and all. There's a lot of things about interfaces, guys, but at a high level, as part of the answer for this question, you see, you can write this code, okay? If someone can write the code like this, that is more than enough, okay? So here, I'll try to do my level best in making the code visible to you. Okay, this is what level I can go. So I have to go more better level actually. Okay. So here I'll write so that you can take the screenshot of this code and try it in your machines. Okay. I think this is better. And what is more better is these comments you can see if possible and trying that. See whether you can see the comments. Okay, I think this is the best way. This is the best way where you can see the comments, you can see this, okay. Classes implementing this. You can create any number of classes, guys. HDFC Bank is one of the class which is implementing, like Axis Bank, SBI Bank implementing same interface, multiple classes can implement. That's okay. And here, this is the final stuff. So you can take a screenshot of this code, guys. Okay. So hope guys you have taken the screenshot of the code with practical demonstration and answer this question by writing a Java program where I have demonstrated creating an interface for you. So not only I created an interface, I explained more about interface, like it falls under the abstraction concept, one of the abstraction OOPS concepts. And in order to create an interface, we have to use a keyword known as interface keyword, and interface is all about full abstraction or zero implementation. And by default, general methods inside an interface are of abstract type. You cannot provide the method body, okay? And then variables inside the interface, are by default fine aligned static type. They are by default fine aligned static type. So in order to access that variables, you have to manually initialize them because they are final, and you cannot update the values of the variables anywhere since they are final and abstract type, cannot update the values from savings to any other things. Once you initialize, that is done. This is a final value. And you can access these variables using the name of the interface, like bank.account type 1 or bank.account type 2, just so that you can take the screenshot, have reduced the size of this font. So that's all for this session, guys. With practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. See you in the next session. Thank you. Bye-bye.